Hey guys, Ankit here. How are you doing? And so I am back with another video. And as you know, in my last video I posted about OnePlus 8 Pro. Now I used that device for some time, and actually it was quite a good experience. So it had the very good software, and the camera was decent, not very good but decent. However, but one thing I missed was the fast charging. I always wanted to try a phone with very fast charging. I have been using my iPhones and my Notes or the Galaxies. They have this so-called fast charging, but actually it's not that fast. All of them take more than 1 hour to charge fully. And even though the 8 Pro had the 30T warp charge, but still it was not that fast. So now when OnePlus came up with the Nord 2, I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And I have heard about that the camera, the main sensor on this is the same as the ultra wide sensor of the 9 and 9 Pro, and it promises good image. So forget about the ultra wide and the other, I think the telephoto, those are not that good. But what I have heard is that this has a decent camera, especially the primary camera, and considering the price point, I mean it will be a good phone to use for a few days. So let's go ahead and do the unboxing. So let's taking this off. I have to say the packaging looks quite sophisticated for a mid-range device. And this is the phone. So let me just keep it aside and see what other things we have. We got a case here. That's a good thing about OnePlus. They always give a case, so you don't have to go searching for some cases on your own. And this will have the usual documentation, etc. I'm not going to open that. And the case is the soft, sort of clear crystal gel type of case, and it has the nice, this sort of triangle pattern to it. So that's good. And here is the warp charge. So as you can see, it's 65 watts. So this promises to charge it, I think, in around 30 to 32 minutes. So I will be, of course, testing it and seeing how fast does it charge. And the usual cable. So no headphone jack on the phone, and no headphones in the box. So that's the usual stuff. So let's take this off. So I got this what do you call it, blue color, or blue Sierra or something. So this is sort of slight blue pastel color. I don't know, I'm not that good with the color names, but looks good. And you have the clear OnePlus logo. So I was thinking whether to buy this color or the matte finish gray one, but I have a lot of phones with the gray finish or black finish, so to say. So I wanted to try something different, and hence I got this color. So first impression is good. It is glossy, it's not matte, but the way this color is, I don't think you will see any fingerprints on it. And this is the front. So there is a screen protector already on this. And here is the alert slider, the standard OnePlus thing. So that's the good thing. This is the only Android phone that has this. So Apple has its own slider to put the phone on silent, and OnePlus has its own. So this is, I think, the best feature OnePlus has to offer, which differentiates it from the other Android phones. And we have this power button, nice and clicky. And on the left hand side we have this volume rocker. Again, good tactile feedback. And this is the, of course, USB-C, the SIM card tray, the mic, and this speaker grill. And the other speaker grill is the same here. So the earpiece is the same as the speaker. So this is the phone. Let's see, try to boot it up. Okay, the standard OnePlus boot screen. So what do you guys think? Is it worth to try this, to buy this mid range phone, and will it give the same experience as the other flagship phones? So maybe not as much as the iPhones and the Notes and the Galaxies, but even if it does give 80 to 90% of the experience that those flagships give, and since this is like half, or not even half, like one third of their prices, so it is a worthwhile trade-off if it can even give 80% of the performance that the flagships give. Now I will be testing the camera of this and comparing it to I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the Note 20 Ultra, so I will be comparing it this camera with them and see how it fares with the flagships, the true flagships. I am not comparing it with other mid-rangers. There are a lot of videos on YouTube, you can look at those comparison, but I am very curious to see how it fares with the flagship. So is it even worth buying a flagship in 2021, because the mid-rangers are getting so good? I feel that it is not worth it. Yes, I am a geek. I am, want to do the review, so I want to use the best of the best. So I have, that's why I have the iPhones and the uh, Note 20 Ultra. But still, like the mid rangers are now so good that you don't need to buy a flagship phone. Now this has regarding the screen, this has the 90 hertz. So yeah, if it would have had 120 hertz, it would have been the perfect combination for a mid-range. But still 90 hertz is like should be fine, and combine it with the Oxygen OS, then it should give a very smooth experience. And of course, as you all know that the Oppo and OnePlus are merging together. So on this Nord 2, the Oxygen OS is actually based on ColorOS. So the source is ColorOS, the code base, and but the layout, the overall skin is Oxygen OS. But still, you will see that there are similarities with ColorOS. Now, personally, I have not used ColorOS till now. I have never used any Oppo phone. So I will be checking that how it is different from the previous Oxygen OS. I used the 8 Pro, I had the 7 Pro, I had the OnePlus 5T. So Oxygen OS, in my opinion, is the smoothest skin, or the smoothest launcher of Android, probably on par with Pixel, while offering some more functionalities than Pixel. So it will be it will be good to see how it fares, the OnePlus Nord 2, and I will be posting my feedback and what is my experience on this in the coming days. So if you have any question, you want me to ask anything, just drop a comment, and please like and subscribe my channel. It will help me grow my account. And yes, I am in UK, so this is of course much more expensive in UK compared to India. In India, it's around 30,000 rupees, which translates to around 300 pounds in UK, whereas in UK I got this for 399 pounds. So there's clear 100 pounds or what 10,000 rupees difference. But OnePlus has always priced phones cheaper in India compared to the other regions. Alright guys, so I'll be keeping you posted, and do like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Cheers.